Welcome back to Structural Grammar. Today we are going to talk about bare infinitives. The infinitive is the base form of a verb. To infinitive adds the preposition to in front of a verb's root form. For example, I decided to visit my grandparents. Bare infinitive is the infinitive form of a verb without the word to. Therefore, when the bare infinitive is used in a sentence, remember it is still an infinitive. It simply does not include the word to. So, like the to infinitive, its form must never change. For example, I heard him sing a lovely song. As you can see, we don't need to use to before saying. Generally speaking, bare infinitive structures are much less common than to infinitive structures, but after certain verbs they are necessary. Uses of the bare infinitive. First, bare infinitive is used after verbs of perception. For example, see, watch, notice, observe, feel, and hear. Notice they are mainly to do with the senses. When these verbs are used with an infinitive without to, they emphasize the action or event as a whole or as completed. Here are some examples. I watched him move to a seat at the back. Do not write, I watched him to move to a seat at the back. He heard the teacher call his name. We do not add to before call. We felt the ground shake beneath our feet. As you can see, no to before shake. Second, bare infinitive is used after the causative verbs make, let, and help. Make and let are followed by the infinitive without to in the active voice. And they always have an object which goes before the infinitive without to. For example, they made him pay for the things he had broken. Let the cake cool for 20 minutes before icing it. Here, let is followed by the object the cake, which goes before cool. Pay attention that the passive form of make is followed by the infinitive with to. For example, he was made to pay for the things he had broken. I was made to wait for almost an hour. Let has no passive form. We use allowed instead. We were allowed to go in free at the weekend. Just like make, the passive form is followed by the infinitive with to. Help can be followed by the infinitive with or without to. For example, we helped paint their house. This is the infinitive without to. Or, we helped to paint their house. Both sentences are correct. Next, there. The verb there is hardly ever found in positive sentences. It is almost always used in negative sentences and questions. When it is used with an auxiliary or a modal verb, there can be followed by the infinitive with or without to. I didn't dare disturb him. I didn't dare to disturb him. Both sentences are correct. But when there is no auxiliary or modal, there is followed by the infinitive without to. Nobody dare disturb him. I dare not ask him. The bare infinitive is also used after auxiliary modal verbs: will, would, shall, should, may, might, can, could, and must. For example, I will wait, not I will to wait. You must obey my instructions, not you must to obey my instructions. He can speak 5 languages. not he can to speak 5 languages. You should do more exercise, not you should to do more exercise. Remember, you don't need to add to after auxiliary modal verbs. Next, the bare infinitive is used after had better or would rather. You had better ask his permission. Do not write you had better to ask his permission. He would rather play than work, not he would rather to play than work. Bare infinitive is also used after prepositions such as except, but, and then. For example, I will do anything except cook. She does nothing but cry. Food does so much more than simply fill our bellies. Bare infinitive is used in the second clause when 2 infinitive structures are connected. For example, I want you to tidy the house and wash up after the party. He decided to turn off the computer and go home. Last but not least, bare infinitive is used after why when making suggestions. For instance, why wait until later when we can do it now? Why take a taxi? We can walk home. Exercises. Complete the sentences with the bare or to infinitive of the verbs in brackets. For example, her parents won't let her something to the dance. The verb go is given here. As we have learned that let is followed by the infinitive without to in the active voice. So the bare infinitive go will be the answer. That's the end of today's lesson. See you next time.